You're listening to the Small and Supercharged podcast with Ria Freeman, episode 28.
Well, hello and welcome to this week's podcast. It's a solo one with yours truly, and today I'm going to talk to you all about testimonials, why you need to gather them, how you can ask for them without feeling really icky and like you're searching for approval, and why you need to be asking for them too. So first of all, let's just be really basic. I'm going to teach you how to suck eggs for a second. I just want to talk to you about what a testimonial is. So a testimonial should be a few words. You can even have a video testimonial if your client was up for it, that shares with people the experience of your product or service. And it's as simple as that. So you can also call it a review if you want to, and there are systems that gather reviews. Or a testimonial is usually more service-based, I'd say. So if you have a service-based business like I do, I wouldn't necessarily be getting reviews, although you can, but I tend to get testimonials. For me, they tend to be longer, they tend to be more detailed. I don't have a star system. So I really want my customers, if they're happy to share their experience of working with me, because I can write all the copy in the world for my website. And I have to say, even though I do PR and marketing as part of my job, I am not great at promoting myself. It does feel icky. It does feel weird. It feels like I'm boasting and sort of being horribly vain and arrogant, saying, woohoo, look at me, I'm amazing. But the beauty of the testimonial is actually you are saying to your customers who are happy with your service, can you share what it's like working with me? Can you tell people the things that I do that make your life easier? Can you tell them about how we work together and how that helps you? Because when you're you and you are looking at the service you offer, it's really difficult to do that. So I'm going to use me as an example because I feel like I know me pretty well, and I also know how I use testimonials. So for example, I work with a number of clients and I help them with their PR, marketing, their social media, their strategy, and I obviously coach people as well. Now at the moment, most of the testimonials on my site are from PR, marketing and social media work and from one-to-one coaching. Now, as I'm recording this, I am thinking I need to get some more testimonials connected to my mastermind group, because that's something that I'm working on at the moment. And I want people to share their experiences, not just from a promotional point of view, but I want the feedback too. I want to see what people like. I want to build on that. I want to see if there's any common themes. I use testimonials as that feedback too. So I can put on my website what services I offer. I can tell people how to get in touch with me. I can tell them about campaigns I've run. I can talk about my clients. I can do all these things. But what I can't do, or what some people do, but I personally don't like doing it, is say, and I'm really amazing and you should get in touch with me. It makes me feel a bit sick and like I need to go and have a shower because I'm being so weird and don't like it. But the beauty of a testimonial is that, yes, it's people singing your praises, but it's how they work with you, which I think is really, really interesting and really, really key as well. So I am going to now share with you a few testimonials to give you an idea. I'm not going to do them all because then we're getting into the aren't I great thing, which is the whole thing I want to avoid. So on my website, I've actually got a testimonials tab where I keep them. I need to do more of this. I'm cross with myself, but it's fine. So I've got a testimonial here that says, in the short time I've worked with Ria, she's been invaluable to my business. So that's really great. That's a really positive thing. I was so cautious about investing more in advertising and marketing, having done a lot myself to keep costs down. Ria has explored a totally different avenue and opened up opportunities we never anticipated. She's enlightened me with so many ideas, refreshed my mindset, and most importantly, grown my brand over the last year in ways I didn't think were possible. Huge thank you, Ria. So excited for what the future might bring. Now, that's an amazing testimonial and it actually makes my heart sing. But I'm going to have a look at it in a bit more detail and show you why I think it's good. So obviously it's really lovely and it's really complimentary. But what it's done here is it's also highlighting points that my customers might feel before they work with me. So I was so cautious about investing more in advertising and marketing. That's a really common thing. People are cautious about how they spend their money, and they should be cautious about how they spend their money. Let's be honest here. It doesn't grow on trees, sadly. So what she said there is really relatable to potential customers thinking, oh, do I work with somebody to help me with my PR social? Do I? Don't I? But she has put herself in the position and she's saying, actually, I was in that exact position. I was feeling really cautious. I didn't know what to do. And this was how I found her. Here, next bit, Ria has explored a totally different avenue and opened up opportunities we never anticipated. Again, this is showing that I do look at things in a slightly left field way. Now, from my point of view, this is how I've always done it. I'm known for being able to get a lot on zero or no budget. I am really well known for that. But to me, that's just what I do. But here, that's been highlighted as actually, because of this, it's not straightforward marketing. I very rarely suggest people place adverts in magazines. I look at other ways to do it. But again, that's just what I do. But here, what this testimonial is saying is actually through working with me, she's looked at other options, found different ideas. She's enlightened me with so many ideas and refreshed my mindset. And most importantly, grown my brand over the past year in ways I didn't think possible. I mean, you can't ask better than that. But again, what it said here is there's the idea generation element, because I think that again is one of my USPs that I don't say. I mean, if I said I'm really great with ideas, that's just a bit rubbish. It just sounds lame. But here, it's work in action. It's happened here. And that has grown her brand, which of course, if you're looking to work with somebody who does PR, marketing, whatever, that's what you want. I'm going to just do one more here. Again, I'm feeling weird about sharing this with you now, but it's for the greater good. It really is. It's to show you the information that I wouldn't be putting across in a About Me page or a services page, but what you can gain from a testimonial. We're then going to talk about how you can use them. So obviously, first one, testimonials page. So the second one is it's by Hi Ho Silver. You'll know that because it says Ria has been working with Hi Ho Silver for over 4 years now. Actually, it's probably more like 6 now. Anyway, I'm deliberately using the words working with us because that's what Ria really excels at. Being part of your team, getting your brand, the way you do, and then becoming chief flag waver, innovative ideas generator, targeted press release writer, ambassador, and protector. Now, I'm just going to look at that bit to start with. Again, actually feeling slightly emotional over this testimony, which is ridiculous. But because of the way I work with people, I do really invest in them. I don't work with brands I don't like at all. I really do become part of the team. I go over and above. And I know I do those things, but I'm not going to write that on an About Us page. That's really, I mean, if I read that, I'd be thinking, yeah, of course you do, love. And these testimonials as well, I never tell people what to write. I ask if they're happy to provide a testimonial, but I want to see what they're going to write as well. So to me, that really touched me because I do feel like I'm part of the team when I work with people, whether it's mastermind or whether it's coaching or whether it's part of the, whether I do their PR, marketing and social, whether I just do their social. So that was really lovely. But again, from a business point of view, if you're looking to work with somebody, knowing that they do invest on that level in you and become part of your team and really do become a flag waver, not just someone who gets paid and then you don't, worry about, that's quite a big deal. I'm going to go to the next one now. We really respect Ria's extensive expertise and knowledge, which she freely shares with us and uses to our best advantage. Her professionalism is very evident in the execution of everything she does, and we always know that our brand will be presented in the best light with our brand attributes and voice clearly shining through. So again, that's really speaking to people's pain points, isn't it? You do worry about when you work with a freelancer that they're not going to understand your brand. So when they're out there pitching for work or they're writing your captions, they've got no idea what you're talking about. And as much as I could say in my content, well, I really research your brand and I love it, this is much more valuable. Her professionalism is very... And we always know that our brand will be presented in the best light with our brand attributes and voice clearly shining through. again, from a brand point of view, you don't want your PR, social media manager, whatever, making it all about them. I personally find that really icky. But when I work with a client, I'm really aware that I do want their voice to shine through and their brand attributes, because that's what it's all about. It's about them. It's not about me at all. And having that, again, if somebody was thinking, well, who do I go with? Who do I work with? That's a really positive thing. As a business, we always like to challenge ourselves and move forward. And Ria is a key part of this, unafraid to challenge us and make us think through things, but it's also happy to be challenged and try new things with us. Again, from a pain point of view, you do, if you're looking for somebody who you want to generate ideas for you, but you don't want them to override you or become quite confrontational if they disagree. Can you see where we're going with this? I'm not going to carry on. It's such a lovely, there's lots of really lovely testimonials on my website, which I'm thrilled about. But I wanted to just talk through them a little bit, talk through a couple of them so you can see what I'm getting at and the things that a testimonial can bring you. See, I'm now thinking I've been really arrogant here, but I wanted to read them to you because I wanted to show you the difference between what a testimonial brings to the party versus what you would bring to the party. If you were writing an About Us page or an About Me page, I don't think you'd be including that kind of content. I know I wouldn't, because it wouldn't feel very good to me. So I would probably talk about more how I would invest time and energy in getting to know a brand, because I think that's really important. But then when you're hearing a brand say, actually, she really does do this, that has a lot more value. I hope that's making sense. So now we understand them and understand the value they can bring. How do we get them? Now, you might think you're asking for approval, and you're not really. You're asking for people to share their experiences with you. And in my experience, I have never had anyone say no when I've asked them if they provide a testimonial, because the people that I ask, the people I want to work with, are people who believe in me and like me, and we have a really good connection anyway. They're the customers that I work with. I don't work with people I don't like. We do have really good connections. So if you're happy, ask people. You don't have to be weird about it. You can just say, look, I'm looking to grow the testimonial section on my website, and I was wondering if there was any chance that you'd consider providing one. Absolutely no pressure. You completely don't have to. But if you did, I'd be really thrilled. Who can argue with that? Nobody. And it can be so valuable. And often you'll find that people really want to share their experience with you because they want to help you in your business if you've had a positive impact on them. Again, I'd definitely go down the no pressure route. It can be a line, it can be a paragraph, it can be whatever you want. I'd leave it really open as well, so they can make it what they want it to be. Again, obviously these were the ones that I've just talked to you about. They were written testimonials, but you could have a video testimonial. That would be really cool. Actually, I should get on that. But you could also then transcribe it to have it as a written testimonial, but have a video element, which could be really good for your social, could be really good for your, IGTV, YouTube, Facebook, things like that. So you could work it in two different ways. But yes, so don't feel weird about asking. Just be really honest and say you're looking to grow your testimonial section because you know how valuable it is. Maybe you use people's testimonial sections and reviews when you're thinking about whether to go with X or Y, and your customer will be able to relate to that. I am sure they have used some form of review to help influence a purchase decision before. I know now if I look at anything that I haven't bought before, even on product websites, I'm trying to decide what kind of moisturizer to use or what book to buy, and I'm not sure about two, I'll read the reviews and I'll look at the experiences that those people have had with those products, and that will help influence my decision. And also sometimes someone can say something really positive about a product or a service and it's still brilliant, but it's not for me. So that helps me really narrow it down. You're helping to identify with your target market through good testimonials as well. So that's something else to bear in mind. So don't feel icky about it. It's a really positive thing to do, and a lot of people are really, really happy to provide these testimonials for you. But now I'm going to talk about what you can do with them. So the first, most obvious thing is get them on your website. So I've got a testimonials tab on my website, and I've also got something on the homepage, like a scrolling I can't think of the word, scrolling words in a coloured banner that are testimonials there. So if people are scrolling down my website, it's quite near the bottom, they can see it on the homepage, but they can also see a testimonials page on my site. And that means if someone's looking for information, they can find it really easily and they can go and click on that. Also, the great thing about having it on your website is that if you are then, say, writing some content about your client because you love them, you can always link to your testimonial from their content too, which can, again, it's quite good from building a link point of view in your website, but also it's a nice way to link it all together and to help promote yourself if that's what you're going for. So get them on your website. That's the easiest thing to do. It's a really popular way of using testimonials, so definitely embrace that too. The next thing is going to be on your social media, and there are so many ways that you can do this. So I've just spoken to you about the video idea, about recording a video testimonial, but also you can use your testimonial in a graphic format. So I'm a massive Canva fan, we all know this, but I have got a template set up on there. See, I'm now thinking I should do more of this as well. I have got a template set up on there where I drop bits of different testimonials into the template and I schedule that on my social media as and when. Haven't done it for ages, need to do it before the podcast goes out, but this is what a really good way of using it. So you can take little snippets and you can put them into a pretty graphic and put that on your social media. So rather than doing an inspirational quote, perhaps you would do a testimonial, a snippet from a testimonial that you would attribute to your client. That could be really positive as well. You could also create a longer form content. So maybe you want to do a blog about your client, and at the end of it, you wanted to include the testimonial. So from there, you could actually be promoting the whole article, the whole content you've written. Or maybe you want to promote a product from the brand and you want to include that you've got a testimonial in there. That could be a really good thing to do on social too, to promote that content so everybody wins. Again, we spend so much time building our social media platforms, and I know I share so much content on them. I'm not great at promoting myself on them in a really obvious way because actually I kind of don't think that's what social media is about, but that's a different discussion. But through doing a testimonial and publishing that on there, that can really help you too. Another way is an email signature. So I've seen some people put snippets of testimonials on the bottom of an email signature. Can be really good actually, particularly with products. I think it's a good thing. So you could say, this water bottle is the best water bottle in the world and it's helped me do this and that and the other. And if you're selling water bottles, that can be really good. You can change them up quite regularly. You can, make them more interesting. And it's just, I think the email signature is often such dead space, isn't it? I think if we can actually start to use those signatures more effectively rather than just, here's our email and our website. Well, they knew your email because you're contacting them. That can be really useful. And it's a really, really underused area, I think. I know I underuse too. So that's a real positive one. Blogs I've covered as well. So this goes back to on your website really. And, we did talk about how you can talk about their business in a blog and what you do for them if they're happy, obviously, and link that all together. Now, I know we don't talk about printed material that much on this podcast, but that's another really key place to have your testimonials and your information. So this could be on the back of a business card. It could be on a flyer. If it's a product, you could use these testimonials, or your service. If you're if you sell a product, it could talk about your customer service. You could use these in catalogs and brochures too. Just talking about the experience. So thinking about if you sell a product, maybe you have testimonials about your customer experience, how you go above and beyond to help people find the right product, how your communication's second to none, how your delivery options are crazy good. All these things that could, again, help just move the needle in your direction when people are thinking about who do they go with and they're trying to balance it up. Anything you can do to make yourself shine just that little bit more is something you should be really trying to embrace. The thing is, it feels weird and it feels icky, and I think it is something that we're really funny about sharing, some of us, but we need to embrace this because other people are sharing their things. And sometimes they're really sharing stuff that I wouldn't. But the point is that they are doing that. So it's important to try and embrace that yourself too. You don't want to overdo the use of the testimonial. So I wouldn't have every single post on my grid being a snippet of a testimonial. I wouldn't have a flyer that was just basically testimonials back and front. If I was doing a brochure, I wouldn't have a page of testimonials next to each product necessarily, unless it was done in a really well thought through way. I'd probably rather have, if I was doing a product, I'd rather have a snippet of a review or a testimonial about the service on each page to keep the theme going. But I would make sure that the focus was still the focus, if that makes sense. So it is a balancing act about not overdoing them. But I think you are probably like me and you are so far away from overdoing testimonials. It's a bit of a joke, really. Now, obviously, testimonials work well for businesses, but they can also work really well for influencers. So if you're a blogger or a vlogger and you work with brands, there's nothing wrong in asking them for a testimonial about how they found working with you. Because if you are looking to build that element of your business and you want to do more with brands, if you get some really good names there saying how nice it is to work with you, that's going to shine out. That's going to put you above the rest of a really competitive market because you've got real live people who they know or they can find saying, actually, I worked with this person. They were an absolute dream. They promoted my product really well. I love what they did. Their photography was great. Their communication was amazing. They were efficient. All these things. And it's a real life person who's using their own experience to help what you're doing. And that will obviously to help inform the person who's interested, and that will help you promote yourself better too. And again, if you're doing thinking about the blogger influencer thing, if you're doing like a media pack for people where you talk about your following numbers on the different platforms, examples of content, all this kind of stuff, put some testimonials in there. Often if you get a media pack from a magazine, it'll have testimonials in there showing what it's like to work with the brand, what it's like to work with the magazine. Again, if you get hold of, most media packs, to be honest, they've got testimonials from PR people, from companies, from graphic designers about how they are to deal with. Because if you're saying, actually, this magazine is amazing, not only have they got a really good circulation, but they work with you, they develop editorial content with you, they do all these things, versus a magazine who just doesn't, that one's going to shine. It's this real life experience that is just so, so important. And, we don't give it enough attention. But one little last thing I want to talk about is that if someone sends you an email, if you, out the blue, someone sends you an email and says, oh my God, you are amazing. You've changed my business. Your product has revolutionized my life. That doesn't mean you can use that in the world. It's really, really important to ask permission. So if someone sends you a message like that and it makes your heart sing and you think, oh, brilliant, drop them an email back, thank them so, so much, and ask if you can use that on your testimonials page. Ask if you can use it to promote your business. 9 out of 10 times they're going to say yes. You might even get a more detailed email from them elaborating on different points, but always ask permission. You need to make sure you've got the proper permission to use testimonials. You need to make sure that the person who has said you're amazing knows you're going to use that and knows how you're going to use that. It's really, really key. Be really clear on how you're going to use it, how you're going to use their words. So if you're going to put on your testimonials page, I'd be quite vague. I would explain you're going to use it for marketing purposes. For example, graphics on social media, on your testimonials page, etc., etc. You don't have to kind of bullet point it, but I would give them really strong examples that you are probably going to do, and then put and other marketing purposes. Is there anything you wouldn't want it to be used for? But just be really open and honest with people. They're not going to have a problem most of the time, 99% of the time. But also the thing is, if you use it incorrectly, you're just likely to cause bad feeling with that person that you've kind of nurtured and grown and is really positive about you. So again, you don't want to hurt your business by trying to get new business. Always look after your customers in this way. ask them their permission. They're going to be fine with it. I would bet money that honestly 9 out of 10 times they would be absolutely thrilled. And I mean, I honestly have never had anyone say no when I've asked. So, you know, I think that's a really strong thing, but always ask. And the other thing, which I know you would never do anyway, because you're listening to the podcast, you're developing yourself, you're growing what you're doing. Never, ever fabricate a testimonial. It's just no value at all. You might think it has value, but it won't have value. Testimonials can be used to attract your tribe, your perfect customer, a really lovely way for your customers to thank you, to show the brands you work with. If you make up a testimonial and you don't credit it to anybody, just don't. It devalues testimonials, and they're so valuable. You shouldn't be doing that. So never, ever fabricate a testimonial or an endorsement. Just don't do it. Think about how you can improve what you do so you can get real ones, because they are going to be so much more valuable. Your work's going to be so much better. Your service is going to be so much better. And that is a really, really great place to gain more customers, because they know more about you and how you are. So, testimonials. Well, I'm sure we'll revisit these again in the future because they're so valuable. And I think there's going to be more and more ways I can share with you about how you can use them. So this can be your introduction to testimonials. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget, if you are looking to upskill and improve your social media, your marketing, your PR, your content marketing, all of those things, don't forget to have a look at the Small and Supercharged Mastermind group, which is my membership group I run. I'm going to put a little link into the show notes, but if you go to my website, riafreemanpr.co.uk, Mastermind is up along the top tab. So go and have a look at that. And obviously, I'm always happy to answer any questions. Thanks so much for listening to this episode, and we will catch up very, very soon.